need to talk anymore because it's happening, baby. We're jumping right in.
It's happening. It's happening. I have some follow-up questions too about these two teams, but they can come later.
It's time to ramble on anti-ecos, huh?
Yeah, that indeed. We can say yes, exactly. But the pistol has dawned on us, and it's time to go to B, according to SK. Leading the way is Taco, and he's going to easily be able to spot Rikke, and this is not looking too good, actually, for CLG. They're getting kind of slaughtered here on the entries, but finally starting to hold their line as SK are down to 3, and pretty much everyone is already here now for CLG. Very fast rotations.
Fallen and, well, Cold is last man standing. It's got the Deagle. Oh, see Kusta. Kusta doesn't have all the life in the world, but 2 bullets, Cold Zero. He needs to find an opportunity to reload his weapon. How is he going to do that?
Some kind of problem if it's going to get paused.
Yeah, well, have to continue for now because people have been lost. CLG waiting very patiently. Perhaps Kusta is the expendable man in this situation. Ethan suggesting, oh, look at that. The one time it goes for the proper peak, Cold is ready. Although 58, I think it's 55 the most you can expect to do with a Deagle shot to the chest. So he will still require 2 bullets unless it's a headshot. That was a close one. There's still time for Cold Zero to play, but how does he reposition for the next reload? 4 bullets, being very careful indeed. Really trying to avoid getting traded. Oh, there we go. And instantly CLG come out. 2 players to finish him off. So that's a good start from CLG. I like the patience there, though, from Cold Zero, where he's like, he understands the situation and tries to play it as best as he can.
I thought you were going to say I love the patience of CLG because they didn't peek at all.
That's the more obvious patience, though.
Yeah.
But I think you don't often see somebody be that patient in that bad a situation like you saw from Cold Zero there.
Well, to what you're saying, basically what Cold Zero is aware of is anytime someone gets contact, whoever's the first contact, the next guy is gonna swing on him. So he's trying to find that fight while staying close to that pillar on Cat. So if he does get a shot at the van guy or the guy on the left, he has time to take that shot and have cover near him. But he knows the second he kind of progresses forward and takes a fight, if it's the wrong fight, he immediately gets collapsed from another angle. So it is true. I thought he was going to walk up left for a second, but that's Cold Zero's specialty, is always kind of being aware and playing very tight. So it's like, even though he loses the round, it's cool to look at those little things.
We're back.
We're back already? Nice.
Yeah, it seems so. Cole
So,
saving the Deagle.
Did look like that was going to be an SK round, didn't it? When they got the sight, but a couple of nice shots from Market there. And FNS staying alive on the pillar.
Honestly, this 1Deeks, man. Cold, go for it again. Taco, seen it so many times from him.
How did you find New Mirage when it first came to, well, when it was first picked up by North America? Because for the longest time, America lagged behind and has still played old Mirage, while Europe was playing new Mirage, right? And then you went to LANs and just got bodied because you weren't playing the new map.
Everyone was doing like a proper mid-control and regrouping the bomb sites, and we like didn't understand that at the time. Like we knew the concept from the old maps, of course, but yeah, they were a step ahead. I remember playing Virtus Pro and just getting manhandled because they would take ladder control room every round, and we basically gave it to them. So that was a struggle.
Yeah, those were really interesting times. Oh man, the FPS on old Mirage was amazing.
I do admit I think I liked A bomb site better on the old Mirage. Those boxes and you can kind of play. But now I've adjusted. Now this is Mirage in my mind. But
yeah. Nice to think about the evolution of the game in that respect.
This always happens on this map. I'm Kusta. That's me. This guy. I always feel like I'm by connector and they're coming up on the connector.
Yeah, really passive positions from CLG. And this should be a free plant now on A, which is really nice for SK. In fact, this becomes a really winnable situation. They've got so much space to work off of that post plant. Still, Cold is sitting in the ladder room, so he could be really problematic. I don't think you ever expect... Well, Finesse should probably just check it out of habit, and there it is. So he will be able to take down Cold, but I doubt he would have expected him to be there. And here it is, Finesse with another battle here first, so weak. Just trying to delay Finesse, trying to toy with him, and try to buy time for his teammates to handle the other CTs who are taking the bomb site. We're trying to do so. Nicely done by Fallen.
GG.
And that is indeed going to be the round for SK.
Wow.
That patience with the Deagle is really paying off.
See, at first when Cold went down, I thought that was it, because if Cold gets that kill, they for sure probably win the round. The guys at A are kind of sandwiched. Too many things to worry about. Interesting after plant.
Yeah, that's not the start that CLG wanted, and this may be a worse situation for them. Well, it definitely will be if they lose this round.
Looks like they're going for the fast top mid and window smoke. Maybe a quick B split from the way the radar looks, but more just a normal mid control actually.
It's interesting watching North on the anti-eco. They are pretty good at taking out all the sneaky positions in mid that the CTs might try to play the numbers game on but it is somewhat risky, somewhat precarious to be on the anti-eco in the middle area. But so far so good for SK. They're keeping the range and clearing out areas one by one. Ruki with the deagle.
I like how SK played this in middle. A lot of times teams will get, the people on the top of middle will get in too much of a hurry and they'll come down middle and that's where you get caught off guard. So I think it was Fur they waited for underpass, and once he gets under window and they molly off window, they can press just with that smoke top connector, and very methodical. But it's very simple that a lot of teams don't always do. So SK doing the SK things.
Yeah, now it's just easy for them to sit in the middle. There's obviously starting to be in a position where, all right, 1 minute mark, let's get a move on. And that's not even going to be necessarily too much of an issue. Double peek from CLG will allow an easy decision for SK to roam all over that A-bomb site. Cutler trying to back away. Okay, nice tapping there from the short position. Cutler peeling off a couple players as well, and all of a sudden it's just cold left with a MAC-10, but he can get an upgrade, I think, fairly easily. Let's see if he can make this work. Cold looking for Cutler here, still with the MAC-10 out. There's guns to be collected. Going for the plant here. MAC-10 comes out. Oh my goodness! Still makes it work.
Yeah,
Wow.
FAMAS, he didn't make that work. I think it's more that Cutler just screwed up.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing Cutler could say is that the planting animation is absurd, but at that point, he has a full reload, it looks like.
Cold is still drawing his weapon.
As he's shooting, so the animation's done, and that's Cutler's facepalm.
MAC-10 is a terrible weapon from range, but some players have Kevlar here, but they don't have helmets, so that was a waste of money, unfortunately, for Cutler. And yeah, this is a bad spot for CLG, not getting off on the right foot. I wonder how much money they will have on their buy round, actually. I'm very curious to see, especially these players who have bought Kevlar in this round. Cutler and FNS.
James, your asthma today, where is it?
Oh, it will come, don't worry.
You seem
I actually took my preventer today, but I just had a very hot espresso as well, so
you seem to be in fine condition, James.
do not tempt fate.
I saw
Finest
James
of
this morning
conditions.
doing yoga in the living room, so he's just kind of getting
Fake
his
news.
breathing.
I was
Yeah.
playing Zelda.
I saw you out there on Muscle Beach, James, on that piece of grass.
no diffuse
Doing
kits on
acro
this
yoga.
entire CT side. Cutler's short of a grenade as well. I think they could have saved some more money in that round. I don't know why they opted. I mean, what's your opinion on the two players having Kevlar in that last round? Because that's the Felico rounds where you save for the buy round.
Yeah, I guess they're assuming because everyone except Cold died and Cold ended with FAMAS that they're going to be facing FAMAS AKs. But SK being aware of the money situation, utilize those SMGs, and I don't know. It could be seen as a waste. Those rounds where you're not going to lose, and especially how CLG played it, there's a lot of opinions on that. They should have stacked. They shouldn't have bought anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's always more than one correct answer.
Yeah.
But do you think it's one of them?
I
Or it
don't
could
like
be.
how they were kind of spread right there with the armor. So I didn't like the setup personally.
Well, SK have sort of just gone for quite a passive, slow default here with initial presence in B apps. And you can see the bomb making its way back with a couple, supporting players towards the pit position. Two-man setup in Shadow is really interesting, actually.
It's not going to be too bad with no Molotov on the T side, huh?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Double ops in B and double shadow play. This is a very interesting setup.
I don't think I've ever seen a setup like this before. I quite like this.
Between A and B, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely haven't. So Ethan will be the initial engager. Doesn't want to go too deep into the corner though. So Cutler, does he shoot as soon as he sees someone?
He doesn't.
Yeah, or does he play the late game? There we go. Running down the clock, and there's the first kill, the transfer. Brilliant stuff, and that might just win him the round. willing to engage the third player. He had support from CT, and there it comes in Kusta delivering the last kill. So the setup works out. They survive with 3 players and both orbs.
That reminds me of the play people do on Inferno a lot at the wrap cubby, you know, on the jungle side. People like to hide in the corner, and then one guy runs out and dies, and the other's still there.
Yeah.
Do you think they have that set up because they anticipate SK1 playing a slow round, 2 don't have much utility?
I don't think they would go straight into that setup. I think they just moved into that, right? I think from the last round they moved into it because SK did a late hit. I think if it wasn't a late hit, they would not. Assuming they would have a Molotov, right? Normally.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Ooh, speaking of cool stuff, you got Kusta.
Ricky here. Ricky's actually got a pretty solid op. As I say that, he misses a shot.
Good job, Jordan.
But I'm not ashamed because I have seen him hit quite a few awesome shots with that gun, and it's a cool aspect of CLG's CT side. That's not a cool aspect though.
We saw who was it Optic? Yeah, Optic playing double ops top mid on Inferno yesterday. And now it seems CLG, where possible, in the early rounds of Mirage here, will use the AWPers together. And at the beginning of this round, they were essentially had a bait set up where if the T's tried to use the numbers game to come out and punish Kusta for his kill in the underpass, then Rike's there as the initial engager.
See, I don't like that play from Kusa. You have a 5v4 with 2 riflers at A. Get that op rotated around toll booth, play a double rifle jungle, and you're immediately now stopping the connector, the A hit from jungle. If they all come back out A ramp, your op has a decent chance to get 1, and you can play the retake 5v4. If they go B, you have quick rotation. I just don't think that was a necessary fight from Kusta mid, especially considering you're playing against Fallen.
Taco knows that Cutler's there on the left. He saw his feet. And in comes the pop flash for double peek between him and Phelps, I think. And there's another player there, though. I don't know if they're going to anticipate that. Cold going for the kill in the ladder room as well. So Ethan's still alive here towards pit. This is kind of an issue. That's the bomb!
Nice play.
And that's really, really big. It's not a huge amount for Cold to work with here. He's just going to have to go for the pursuit. And Ethan will shut him down.
Nate's really been impressing me lately, Ethan. He seems like a good kid. Like he's just kind of putting in an honest gamer mindset, and as a good teammate. Sometimes those young kids get really cocky, but he seems like a pretty humble kid, so it's nice. It kind of translates into play, right? Because it forces you to kind of play a bit more with your team.
I wonder what was going on when he moved out of the ramp and Fallen came through connector. Fallen was looking towards toll booth and got killed, but there was a trade on ramp, so he should have known there was a second CT there. And again, Ethan at that. I mean, it might be that Ethan was not visible and Fallen looked at the time. So maybe it was just a timing thing, but it looked weird from what we did see. But anyway, let's put SK on the pistols.
I might have noticed that. When I was looking at radar, I was confused if something was going to happen. But
SK down to the pistols. So that was a very important round for CLG to win. Ethan doing a great work for his team. Now it's a money-making round for them, losing 1 player. Don't want to lose many more.
It's another one of those deaths from Kusta that I'm not sure about if he was trying to clear mid with a flash. You never know what the comms are. I can't pretend like it was a bad decision if you don't have all the info, but when you have a 5v3 on an eco, you don't really need to peek mid right there. If you can watch the cat cross, you have a teammate watching connector.
It's quite cool to see that CLG are quite happy to play these 2-man forward setups in a multitude of rounds. You know, we saw the 2-man shadow setup, the 2 men on pits as well there. I wonder if that's going to be sort of a trend from them. And if so, I mean, obviously SK, there's ways to abuse that. Or if you have like, you know, severe mid presence, I guess you can catch those players out of position.
Are you saying if they're both close A or something?
Yeah, if they're playing in sort of, you know, towards pit or shadow, like in those deep positions instead of more passive positions, then, I mean, how would you approach that if you see that tendency?
I think also CLG doesn't have a lot of money too, so I think they're just trying to win these trades where it doesn't come down to retakes. So I think sometimes it's just as simple as SK, they might be feeling like has a better late game than them, so they just want to stop them early.
Got a hesitation here on the CT side. They've got the smoke onto Rike, and he's been taken down. They had no idea where the second player was. Now it's down to the one-on-one. Taco not believing that the diffuser's coming in just yet, and he might just about have time, but even if he has, how do they lose? Oh, that was so close, but down to the wire. I mean, I don't think the bomb should have even been planted in that situation. I think it was Ethan who got picked off towards CT. But I think there were like 17 seconds on the clock at the time, and the bomb plot wasn't coming in. But obviously, has to look to find out if it is. But there we go.
Those can be tricky, and it actually almost plays back into what I was saying about Kusta's death. Clearing mid is not a bad idea because then you could play more advantageous positions in the extremities of the map. But if he would have just literally cleared mid with his teammates and not died, would have been better for the late round. Missed window smoke. See if Kusta will take advantage. He will not.
For a very short period of time, we saw Orpers throw a Molotov down when they expected that smoke to come into the window to keep a gap in there, but perhaps it was still a bit too obvious. But I mean, it depends on what the value of their Molotov is in general, if it's worth them more saving it for the late round, depending on the team they're playing and the style. Because even if you don't peek, it can make the T's use more utility to
definitely leave that little gap open. They have to re-smoke it.
Exactly, yeah, instead of smoking connector or something.
Ooh, I like that. Our team incorporated at the end. It's double molly ladder clear. They can't hide anywhere. It covers the whole thing. It's pretty neat. If you guys are practicing for Mirage with your team right now, go download this demo.
Nice. Kusta in the B apartments, bearing down on the site with the AWP. It's 2v4 for CLG. Kusta with so much to do. That's a great shot under pressure too. One more tag and he'd probably be finished off. So Kusta still keeping the effort alive and buying so much time and space and distraction that Ethan's able to come up unbeknownst to the T side here. SK Gaming in a 2v1 at this point. Definitely doable here for Ethan. He's got a decent chunk of utility as well. The bomb is down, which you can see. There's a Molotov. The pressure starting to come in from the SK side. Ethan repositioning. Caught out by Phelps' wide peak. And that's the round for SK. CLG surely going to be struggling on money. Yeah, indeed.
It's nice that they at least got it down to a 2v situation. Big couple frags from Kusta.
That was a nice frag. It's very easy to start strafing while shooting, I think, in that spot as well. So, Cutler's gone for the full force.
See, I like this. At least they're giving themselves a chance to trade together, but SK is doing a really smart play and doing a fast mid, knowing their money's low. Getting that ground. This helps because even if they don't want to make a decision, now they have too much time to make that decision. If you go really slow and take top mid control, sometimes it bites you in the ass because the team kind of could gamble smart easier, right? If you take time, maybe one of them push upper B or Palace and they know, and your team kind of slowly triangulates.
That's a really good point, actually. I like that. CLG with these pistols, probably not with high hopes. SK can walk into the A site and it's fine as long as they have the right avenues of attack. That's not too bad, as long as some utility is used to clear out some of these more annoying positions. Sandwich is definitely one, but it looks like SK will favor just the raw aim battles, and they'll be 5 strong at the end of the round, so fair enough.
And even though they ran into the stack, CLG was basically hoping that they would come out Palace or ramp so they could do the normal flash Tetris type thing, but SK taking mid fast right there. It's so uncomfortable fighting connector versus AKs when you have a pistol, so just kind of forcing themselves into the A bomb site.
Now the full save for CLG. CLG.
Well, FNS has got a deagle.
That's interesting. He blocked the smoke in a way that it creates a one-way almost. Because you've seen, of course, the full block, right, where it knocks it out, doesn't hit the window, but that's kind of cool just to create a little one-way.
So how do you feel about team houses, Jordan? Because obviously these two teams both play from team houses, and do you think that it's...
Me and James were talking about this. I think it's partially to do with, like, I think for younger players it makes a lot of sense because they're so immersed in the game as it is at home. Why not be around more kids that way? There's some more social dynamics. It helps the team kind of camaraderie because everyone's already just sitting on a computer all day. Now they could have their dinner time meal with all their teammates, right? For a team like SK, Renegades, these teams that move across the world, also nice. Helps them acclimate to a new place. They're away from home and they're together. I think there's certain middle ground. Our team experienced a little where we're from this area, right? We're from Southern California. We had a house here. Multiple of us were from California. You have girlfriends. You have other things going on in your life that are not necessarily priorities, and they don't take a priority over your competing. But at that point, there are rules living in a house that's owned by your team. and that could make your personal life less fulfilling than it would be if you didn't live there, because you might have the ability to have friends sleep over, but you can't hang out in the living room because you're interrupting someone's stream or the practice space. So it's kind of a professional environment. So in that sense, it can impinge on your social life, and that's why we didn't, as Cloud9, we kind of strayed away from it in our team when I was on it. So
I think also, you know, nerds being nerds, right? It might just annoy people. Might annoy each other.
no, totally.
Living in a house together.
We got along. There's a couple people, to Shroudy's credit, he loved doing the dishes. So this guy, Shroudy, would go down there and do the dishes a lot. And I would take out the trash a lot, and so we had some dynamics that worked. But I imagine some team houses get pretty frat-like and pretty trashy.
Yeah.
And ours definitely had its days, but we did a pretty good job of keeping it clean and kind of having a rotation.
I like this idea, like this image in my head of just Shroud just doing like everyone's dishes just happily.
He kind of would. Some
like
days
a dishwasher, but screw that. I am the dishwasher.
Yeah.
I'm the human dishwasher.
he would bitch some days, like, guys, I can't do this. This is ridiculous. And I'd be like, yeah, I got you. Let's help. I'll do it together. But there were some players on teams with funny habits where they would just like leave trash islands in particular areas. They would have their Skadoodle loved setting all of his recyclable drinks near the sink, but would never throw them in the recycle can. It was just always a pile of, like, Tyler. The can's right there. Anyways, Counter-Strike is being played.
It is, and there's a mid-take from SK looking to go for the B split. And it's looking pretty good. They've got a good clearance of mid, and obviously falling covering towards short with the AWP. It's a perfect setup to work from, and now Phelps is in the site with the rest of the team. So this has worked really well. So, you know, CLG giving up mid in that way.
This is actually extremely textbook by SK. They take mid control, they get that cat pick, and the upper B guy's awareness immediately is, okay, I can pressure upper B while my team comes around cat. If they spot him first, I go for the kill. If he spots me first, my cat guys swarm. So it's actually, you can almost dive into a whole convo about that upper B player's role, because I was him a lot, where if you know the guy's like bench, all you need to do is get very close to him on the balcony, but you don't need to fight until your team is close in the site. Because if you fight too early, he can just transfer from you to fighting the cat guys. So for all you lurkers out there, people on your own, spacing is so important. And dying at the right time is more important almost than even getting the kill sometimes. So it's really cool how textbook that was from SK. Very simple and fast, but very textbook.
So that's a very good round for you guys at home if you want to steal a strat.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
I think it's a very good phrase as well to say that dying at the right time can be more important than getting the kill, because that's something that you know scoreboard lords don't think about.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes it's your time to, like, in you dying, the rest of your team can be put into a superior position where attention is taken away, and then the round can collapse easier than it might have otherwise.
Well, and it's easy to miss those details, to be honest. Even sitting here watching it, from not as a player, but being like with you guys here on the desk, it is easy, even if we're paying full attention, to not see everything or know everything that's happening. So for me, it's fun as a player to, when I notice those things that I was aware of, to share with the viewers, because like you said, there's a lot of aspects aside from getting a kill that help you win a round. Look at Fur gets that kill. He immediately knows when we're A. He's going to tell his team to come up connector. Cutler's doing a good job, though, to prevent that.
I love how fast Fur's positioned towards toll booth. Just trying to get as much position as, of course. And he also knew that he kept a player at pit with the Molotov, so that he had that free reign to just traverse, you know, right towards CT really quickly. And
you know who he is. He wants to fight Kusta at ramp, but he's letting his teammate make progress so that if he dies right there, they probably know to look for the opponents. But now they're thinking it's A. But actually, CLG has a pretty good read here. Ricky making a good play could save them the round.
It's a nice opening kill on the B bottom site, but the T's will continue. We've got First slowly advancing to the jungle area, but his team are absolutely surrounded. There's Fallen. They will name a street after him, but that's going to leave Cold Zero with a lot to do. Is Ricky waiting for First flank? It seems that he might be, so Cold Zero is really trapped at the moment. He's on his own.
Okay, making it even harder, but the spray! What was that? Cold Zero now just against Ricky, who's coming through the window, and this is going to be a tough one. Ricky with the running gun USP takes him out.
Thunder from down under.
That's nuts. Oh, wow.
Oh, no kit.
No, it's so depressing. That's so depressing.
No.
He's going to die.
Yeah, and he loses the AWP as well.
He probably would have been a split second late, huh, if he stuck it.
Oh, man.
That's brutal.
The cold. We saw the kind of the arse end of that double kill, but that was really nice. Really nice.
Good patience by him to get the flanker. Unfortunate double kill from his teammate. Again, dying at the right time, right? He still ended up working out. Ricky had a nice shot, but a little too late. I love when Fallen does this. I love when, as an opera, he's a strat caller, so even though he missed that kill, he's so scary to play against.
I like going to ramp and taking the opposite angle to somebody who's on the stairs next to connector, looking towards CT, because eventually they're gonna, depending on the setup, someone's gonna go up the stairs and have a look.
Yeah.
So that's the pick I like to look for. Although maybe it's less apparent in professional play because you are exposed to Palace at the same time unless you put a smoke there. But
Are you saying as a CT you like to peek in?
no, as a T, I look for that peak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally. Yeah, people are really scared of Palace there, but you definitely catch people.
Nice timing on the peak from Cutler. Ricky coming in as well from short. Oh, you can't miss that one though. Cold will take full advantage as it's now a 2-on-2 here between these two sides. The bomb stuck in connector with no player to collect it just yet. Cold might be the one. Fallen is with the AWP in pit, and speaking of Cold being the one, he's so incredibly weak on the health. He needs Fallen to do the majority of the lifting, and he will. That's a fantastic shot, taking quite a chunk of damage in the process, however, as the bomb can now be collected by Cold. Kusta looking for it, though. Won't be able to spot anything. And now, SK know they can go straight to B, more or less.
Well, Kusta saw Cold pick up the bomb. He saw his head just disappear. And that's why Kusta is rotating. He's got the information, however. If he stayed short, he would have had a really strong position, but now the bomb can go down. So let's see, Fallen, I'm sure, is not exposed to the short position, so they will assume he's coming from short or the market area. Does he see the jump peak? Well, goes for the shot. Oh, does he see the gun? Surely!
No.
Surely he saw the gun!
I don't know.
That's close,
Yeah, I mean, it might be that we see the outline as opposed to the gun itself going past the box, so...
Do you think he knew they were both red HP? It seemed like he knew at least one was. Either way, they were supplemented by Fallen holding with an op, and no matter your HP there.
Fallen got shot in the head through the corner of the wall, so he would know that Fallen was low. I don't know if it was him that shot him or someone else, but because now the game's changed, so only the person who lands the headshot hears the dink if it's far away. So he'll know that one of them was tagged, but we're not sure about both of them. Last round of the first half, we have a CLG timeout, and the money is still not spectacular for them.
Yeah, CLG is hoping to get 5 here at least.
Oh, second last round, excuse me.
And SK doesn't really need to change much. Maybe they know Nate's pushed A ramp, so I wouldn't be surprised to see SK throw nobody towards A this round. Let's see if they do it. SK likes to do this once they get pushed. They actually just throw like Fallen B alone, maybe one underpass, and 3 top mid, and they ignore A altogether. And I think they're going to do it right now. Yeah, see, so even though it's a default, they might run. Oh, they're all going upper B, so this is B hit. A lot of times after they know someone's pushed A ramp, they like to do these like B heavy defaults, but this is going to be a rush. The train of flashes coming in.
Oh, God. Finesse starts it off with, as he said, almost a really strong chance at a second kill denied. However, as Kuso is brought to bear in the shot position with the AWP, but now the grenades start to sail in, making his life hard. It's going to be difficult now to get anything done with this AWP. And RCLG going to be thinking about just keeping this AWP in their hands. Oh, that's a good shot. I was worried for Kusta, but still, he gets the kill, and that might actually signal the push here for his team. There's still time here, but there is a kid on Kusta too, so here they come in numbers, but those numbers are starting to dwindle. Taco gets the first one. Trade is going to come in though to allow the site to be taken. Kusta, what a man.
That's what I'm saying, man. I've been watching him online, and people like to discredit him because of some of the mistakes he's made, but when I play with him, he seems super aware. His comms are pretty good, and he's got quite a bit of ability here, so I've never been his teammate, don't know.
Yeah, but he's a young player, right? He's going to make mistakes, but as part of learning, experience is a big factor in that, isn't it?
Yeah, and attitude, right? And how you run with your mistakes. So I'm not sure. Maybe he's a rager. Maybe he has problems. I don't want to put anything
Yeah, I've never seen him talk.
At all.
Yeah.
I was
So-
at Korean barbecue with him once, and he was quite quiet.
Yeah.
He's quite
yeah,
quiet.
he seems like the quiet type, so I don't really have any read on him.
It seemed to be in good company though. Like the whole CLG family seemed to be like definitely good, like a good fit for him. I think I mean, I was out with all the CLG people basically at Korean barbecue.
I think it was unfortunate for Kusta in that he was extremely overhyped
Yeah.
when he first came on the scene, which isn't a criticism to
Thanks,
him.
Moses.
But it just puts him in a bad spot. Yeah, Moses is definitely
Damn
part of
it,
that.
Jason.
But like, if you look at that Inferno clip where he had like, it was one of his big highlights where he was like wrecking people on Inferno, but they were all facing him one by one. Like it was really stupid. They made it pretty easy for him. So it's like, if you actually just pay attention to this clip, it's like it's really.
This whole round while we're talking is so wild. So Ferd, did he go through spawn vent right there? He got
Yes.
boosted window. Saw was that whoever's gun that was jungle and still dies to him. But they're still gonna win the round after that kill. So what a peculiar series of events here.
It seems to happen. It seems to happen like not. I wouldn't say often, but frequently enough not to be rare. That some like in a very passive round that you will see like a T somehow creep through the vent and no one spots him. That
Well,
happens sometimes. It's crazy.
I think it was a mess up there because CLG was doing a double jungle like connector setup, and whenever we would do that on our team, we would all go through A, so we didn't break the vent early
Yeah.
in the round, so they would have to. So
I like that detail.
yeah,
Ooh, Fallen, he can jump and peek, or just look through the gap, almost lining up for him, but he hasn't hit the shot.
Yep.
And that's the round right there.
Beast.
Ricky's going to lose his AWP as well. This is a complete disaster. Oh, it's the last round, doesn't matter. It's the last round. Looking for the
falling so
knife.
fast there with those
Yeah,
shots.
I love watching him opt from these like super tight positions.
So
he's,
ridiculous.
He's really good at it.
You've ever watched a stream and watch him like deathmatch? You could see like that's his home. Like he hits a lot of normal shots, but when he's DMing and like kind of talking, answering questions, he's always hitting these ridiculously quick, like duck peek shots. Where
Yeah.
you're just like, whoa, 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 and he's talking about visiting home to mom or something. And he just breaks somebody's face off with like a whip. So he loves those shots.
Yeah, that's a really important thing to play free-for-all deathmatch with a sniper rifle if you are a sniper player. Because it does, like, for the people at home, some people complain, like, oh, why are you using an AWP in deathmatch? Well, look at Fallen play, and that's why. Because it's not just about holding angles, it's about being in a bizarre situation where you have to deliver a kill extremely quickly. Anyway,
Or pistol kills, baby.
indeed, 3-on-3 as the smokes come down onto A. CT's in CT, Taco's there. Flashbang from the T's won't help their advance. Hold zeros now, there's a trade. There's lots, this has happened pretty damn quickly. But they can't really get the bomb down unless they find these kills.
Is this a 4 kill or an ace right here?
Going for 4K.
4K, yeah.
12 bullets left.
He's feeling it, baby. Well, yep. I was gonna say, will the Youngblood come back? And as I said that, the Youngblood's blood is splattered along the default box.
Bish bash bosh.
Yeah, that's nice. That is nice. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to watch Fallen.
No bomb plant though for the T, so we're gonna see the force buy. Cutler with the front spawn here. Let's see if he can hit a shot. Tim was really good at this on our team. Not just good at doing his hair.
Yeah, not much to see. He's got a good timing to look towards the connector.
I think
there.
he's been spotted.
Well, he's been fragged, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not sure if he was spotted. It looks like body language said that he'd been seen on the CC side, but then maybe they just decided to push since no one was there. Who knows?
Okay, well, Phelps is going to be pushing out a connector there to get some information, and it's Fallen to be able to defend the A site. We get a poke from Kusta, which is interesting, because now Fallen's going to play off of that for more information, and this is the timing of this is really, really critical, as he's going to discover that nothing's going on towards the T-spawn at a time when a rotation through T-spawn to A could be a realistic possibility. So now Fallen has given all the info to his team. Guys, it is definitely going to be B. Get your asses over there.
And there is a lot of information. 3 players remaining, 3 plays seen from Cold Zero. Crouching with the MP9. He can go for a jumping spray as well. It is one of the better weapons for it. But there we go. 4 players surviving, all good for SK. They got the SMGs. They can make more money in this round and then they'll only be 3 rounds away from victory here on Mirage. So it is a dire situation for CLG.
Yeah, I'm just curious to kind of see the first couple gun rounds to see CLG's approach. I remember last time they beat them, I tuned in for a bit of it, and I remember CLG was kind of abusing these walkout A's while taking mid control, and they were getting those kills on Fallen at triple, and some other guy that was close to balcony.
Ooh, this running gun might be successful here. Falling in a lot of trouble towards Shadow. It's up to Fur to get the spray, the line up for him. Cutler going to help out as well with a team kill, and all of a sudden, that's all she wrote for this round. Anyway.
Bummer for their money, Dan.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that's the worst peak they could do. Unfortunately for them, great play from Fur, credit where it's due. Especially when you're against an M4A4. It's just a straight line, all those bullets are going to hit you in the face, man.
That is correct. So we'll see, CLG doesn't have more than one Molotov right now. Going late A might be tough without that. Same for, I guess, both bomb sites, but B, you can kind of catch them off guard a little bit more. I'm curious to see if they're going to default or if they're going to go into a strat, so we will see it in 5 seconds.
They could go for smokes in B and the arches. Although I don't often see that succeed, I have to say. When a team goes for the smoke execute into B, where both arches are smoked and whatever else. Like recently, it's failed almost every time, and it's generally used in desperation. But maybe it won't be required if they can take down the second CT. Phelps is, ooh, okay, smart stuff from him. But that is exactly what CLG needed.
Yeah, I wonder what Fur does from this position, because he is in the underpass still. And obviously they wouldn't know that he's there. He finds time to pick up the gun, but it seems like that's not a great timing for him, as a nice check comes in from Ethan to eliminate Fur, and now the angle's covered by Fallen, so he shuts that down. And interestingly, of course, CLG are rotating towards A, so Fallen catching that kill, might have been the info that could tell Fallen what could be coming, especially with the info in B apps.
If Taco can push soon enough and Fallen gets one more, Taco could take one out on the flank if they're unaware, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. If they were a little quicker, but I'm sure by the time CLG gets sight, they'll be able to check their flank, and Taco will be able to do much. But Fallen is still alive.
Speaking of that Fallen deathmatch, this is definitely a moment when that needs to come out. He's pretty much alone. Well, he is basically alone at the moment, and probably will be. I don't think Taco can really connect up with him.
13-5. SK Max wants to do a little damage to CLG's economy. Maybe get a kill as they're saving. Other than that, hold on to the weapons. If CLG's smart, they don't hunt too much here. They're not going to benefit a lot.
Well, there it is, round number 6 for CLG. Why are you looking at me, Dad?
Is that a crime? Is that a crime, James?
I know, you're just looking at me with a weird smile on your face.
There's a lot of history here, and I can feel it in the air. Just like when you guys make eye contact, the stare of 1,000 stories.
Yeah, there are some amusing stories over the years.
Let's see if Kusta can
Oh man, what about them young fibers, eh?
create a little moment. Yeah, you know, the game RNG, right? So are we gonna see a little double B fake here, or double B re-exact? Let's see. Or are they going off the first one, baby?
So these are the smokes for the archers we spoke about in the previous round. I'm sure they were going to do this in the last round.
So they got to throw both arch smokes, and they have to save one for the Molotov on the Balk. Looks like Kusta. Let's go through the flashes. So hopefully, Kusta might be the contingency plan for the Molly here. There's no Molly on the B player though, so that won't matter.
Yeah, they go straight into Taco. It's like SK really comfortable with this setup. You know, so many players to defend this with, and there's nothing really breaking the B bomb side. There's obviously
They had 3 there.
This
yeah.
never works. This never works.
I didn't look at radar the whole round, so I missed why they got, or what info they got.
Yeah. I missed that too. I was actually, I looked at the meme up and was like, wait, I had the same thing, like, wait, there's 3 there. So
Well,
I'm not
because
sure.
they had the guy under window and the guy back pillar. CLG was dead the second they tried to execute.
I mean, there might be a world where, well, you tell me if you think there might be a world where SK with their 2-man push, when they saw so many players in B apartments, they realized what they were going to do and thought they'd probably do it in the next round. Do you think that's possible?
Oh yeah, I mean on a map like this, if you see that many people upper B, it's pretty easy to play like passive A and window and stack the B bomb site for the next 20-30 seconds. And Fur came over there, so maybe if CLG didn't execute, yeah, you would have maybe seen Fur fall back, and they would go into a more like standard setup with like 2 passive A, 1 window. So maybe that's SK just showing their experience. They were gonna kind of gamble for a little portion of the round and fall back would be my guess, but.
I wonder about the timing there from CLG though, because I think they're one of the teams who tries to do that strat the most. I never see it work, and like from what I can remember in the last few months when we're commentating, but you have one guy jump out the window who dies instantly. The rest, then you have like one guy run to the balcony, but they're all taking like individual fights there.
No, we had a really cool one, and the way it worked was Stewie was that first guy out in automatic, and Stewie was able to hit this really sick B-hop like 90% of the time out the window, and he could like land middle sight almost. And the second guy would jump on the ledge, and we had a smoke blocking the bench fight, so he can't fight from jail. So the fight we were mainly looking for is the guy right below window, and then the guy swinging back sight pillar. So if you do it fast enough, Gob B actually showed us this strat, and he helped us create it. And it worked a lot. But if ever anything was off, there was always a gap somewhere, and it is very tough to do it properly. If one of those guys on the back pillars could swing at the right time, avoid your flash, kill Stewie jumping out, stay alive. But when it did work, it was fun because they didn't have a chance.
That is always fun.
Yeah, they just, you don't feel any resistance.
I like it. Well, Fur, he's about to have quite a nice play, I think. He's going to be in a very fast timing on the flank. Cold, though, definitely creating some problems here for the side of CLG, but not as many problems as Fur is about to create. Just sliding up the back, and now it's an easy double for him. Maybe even a triple. He's actually the last man standing. Good effort from CLG to clean out the defense, but now smoking off the bomb. Fur playing it well in the flank. What is Cutler going to do here? He's got a couple flashbangs. He's picked up the AWP. Fur will actually just back away.
Such a peculiar decision.
Yeah, he's heard him. He's close enough to hear him running away as well.
But maybe he's faking. Maybe Fur could be faking it as well.
I don't think, but he doesn't know how close Cutler is, so I don't think there's a world where Cutler thinks he might be faking, because Cutler has the information that Fur doesn't have in return. So there we go. Fur needs to identify where the bomb is.
Fur didn't. I guess because Cutler had an op, Fur just assumed. Holy crap! This play.
All the way around the world.
Fur just assumed maybe because Cutler had an op with that smoke up that Cutler could just hold the fringe, and then when the smoke fades.
Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness! Oh, the spray! What on earth is that? How does? I mean, okay, he's gonna lose the round, but that was amazing because obviously that's like the one sort of blind spot that he managed to actually.
I really wanted him to win the round purely because he ran from T-spawn to CT
Yeah,
spawn.
exactly.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny.
And also just Cutler there, just sort of not even firing his gun, it looks like, just strafing left and right. Looked comical.
That was interesting.
That was pretty awesome.
I wonder if there's like a thought there that Fur's like, okay, if I just leave and he has no idea where I'm coming from, he's going to have to stay in the site somewhere. But that's a tough gamble.
Yeah, I mean, if Fur can be ramp or palace.
Or connector.
Or connector, but yeah, around the bomb plant, then. Yeah, it is tough.
But you don't normally see the good play right there. Cutler, I'm surprised he didn't just like go into palace or try to clear something. So still worked out though. 14-7, and CLG's looking to make it 14-8 here, pretty guaranteed. I actually didn't see. Was that a pop out A? I'm busy talking.
Yeah, more or less.
My job is to talk and watch chat. I hope you're talking crap about me. So 14-8 here. CLG hasn't really established much of a default. Most of their strats have been around upper B, coming out A early. They got that kill that round early ramp, right? FNS, I think. So haven't seen too much to make me confident about CLG's slow to late round play. Cutler getting that 1v1 is to me kind of lucky with Fur getting behind him and able to win that round. So still a bit worried for CLG if they can't establish
Consistent approach.
a consistent approach, but
Yeah.
they should be able to get this round unless they run into the wrong wall here.
So what do you want them to do in this round? What would
This round, since they have oppers, the easiest would be like a super passive slow default, taking underpass late even. You can clear it early if you want, and then like a 3A smokes or double fake could work. But if you get too double fakey, that's where you start. Maybe one guy dies to a pistol, they get a gun, they stack the other. I don't know. So
Yeah, it gets
I
complicated.
think a good like late 3 smokes A here, molly under balk, molly sandwich, molly triple. The opper has to make a play through one of the smokes, and then the guys coming up palace just have to be aware that there could be a guy hiding balk or under or sandwich or something. So once the mollies hit, just hold it close. It's a pretty easy round at that point.
This is just tempting fate here.
Yeah, so but they did hear that op, so you see them taking a fast mid control now because they know they're max fighting an M4 and mostly pistols.
3 players on the A side. Looking at the positioning of SK, CLG may be quite exposed if they make their way through connector.
Yeah, I would like to see CLG send a couple guys back to whatever site they're trying to hit. All 5 mid here can get a little wonky coming up connector or cat. So being so central here could actually be bad for CLG.
It might be that they... I was going to say maybe they would read that the AWP might rotate towards A with the presence on ladder.
After
So
he made that obvious shot.
yeah. But it seems they will proceed this way anyway.
But see, this kind of starts happening where as long as CLG can stay together, they can win all these trades. But right there, they have an M4 get a kill, one USP or got a lucky kill with Fallen. Now it kind of gets to this point where, look at, they have a guy hiding fire. CLG has no idea. This is going to be a cheesy kill right here. I'm assuming Fur will get it.
Turn around for... I'm sure there's a guy behind you. Oh, no!
Oh, you hate to see that. You hate to see that.
That just might be what CLG needed.
What if Taco went towards short as well? While that flashbang comes in from CT, this round could have been over already, but they don't have a kit, so might just be, well, definitely about damage now. Taco definitely wants to go back and save the AWP. But I think if he went towards short instead of... so, I mean, obviously he took the safer route, but if he takes short, by that time the smoke in connector is long gone, so CLG are still even more exposed than they were from the 3 CTs on A.
Yeah, and you know, CLG did stick together, so them going up connector isn't bad. It's kind of like what SK did on T side, but the difference is when SK did it, they knew there was no rifles. So if you do get kind of surprised, it's not as big of a deal. But right there, Cold Zera is able to kind of bait his pistlers and get a free kill. That's why I was saying I would have liked CLG to come back through T spawn and have two guys coming out ramp or something while they split connector, because it's just much easier to kind of clear all the angles when you're attacking from multiple angles. This is the first default round. I think we're going to see this half truly spread like a default at least. Maybe one other that if I was blabbering early on, but I think this is the first true default with full utility at least.
The pixel gap goes both ways.
This one way right here. Someone heroic who used it a lot. Valde, I think it was.
Probably Valde. Sounds like Valde.
This one way is so annoying. I remember we played heroic. We ended up beating them, but I remember like dying to that. And then the next round, the same smoke was there, and I came around so slowly, looking at the one way, like just trying to get a name or a dot so I could start pre-firing it, and I still died. I was like, that's never happening again. So the next like 4 times we played him, next 4 rounds, I was just like railing that boost. But definitely a solid one way.
Here comes the set piece execution onto the A site. And SK with a good response, passive positions. No one will be isolated inside the site. They will just play behind the smokes for the time being. May see, not sure if they're really in a position to do anything other than maybe fall in,
boy.
go for a play. But that's a pretty cheeky shot. Good game sense from Phelps to understand where that plant was going down, but couldn't get the connection. Now all of CLG, 3 players falling back to pit, 1 to Tetris and 1 in Palace.
And outside of Fallen dying early, this is pretty textbook from SK. I like what they're doing here. You stay alive behind the smokes. They still have a couple smokes. Fur and Phelps now are going to smoke off Palace and ramp, ideally, maybe the bomb and one of the others. But with the flank here, it might be obsolete with that smoke if they can hop on the bomb early and get some kills.
His flank is really nice. What a lovely round here from CLG. Still have to hold though, and it looks like they may well have done so. SK recognize that they have no time. And that was really cool from CLG, the way that they set that up, actually.
It's good. I still think though it can get so scary, right, when you're hiding on ramp like that. Because if Fallen survives there and they smoke off ramp and Palace, and then CLG is trying to play passive like that, SK actually did a good job coming out connected together. They were just in a man-down situation, so that flank really screwed them. But
that's a good point, actually.
I think falling back like CLG did could have been costly if Fallen didn't die, because it's actually not as hard to retake A in a 5v5 as you think. It's very CT-sided, I think, with nades. So.
Yeah.
But good job from CLG. Can't discount the round. Win.
Yeah, I wonder if they've fought it that far through. That okay, if we get the kill on the AWPer, that's the optimal setup to run post plant.
I don't know. Well, they almost looked like they were gonna have two guys flank top mid.
Yeah.
Right? And then once the 5v4 maybe triggered, hey, we only need one to go. Ooh, cheeky.
And that gives some info to Fur as well. So when his smoke goes, maybe he will yield a kill. He will hear the rotation. You can see him just facing the source of the sound. It helps figure out the direction.
That could have been bad for the CLG guys under window. They looked pretty unaware of Fur's boost. Still semi-unaware, but you never know. The young blood might check it. I'm surprised so many times. It even happened to me sometimes where that guy gets one or two kills from that boost, and you'd think it's so obvious to clear, but sometimes you just get caught trying to boost and getting stuck in the molly.
So Fallen, surely they'll check for this spot. Gets himself a good kill. Potential was more there, but that's going to be satisfying for CLG. They can get make some ground towards the side. Phelps looming over the stairs, but they should be able to easily check for this.
Not a lot of smokes in the CLG, but good usage of nades there. Oh, shoot. I like how they smoke spawn in Molly jungle. I think that was a good choice of nades. Unfortunately, the smoke wasn't perfect spawn. And they didn't have someone holding it. Still a winnable 2 versus 3 if they can take some confident fights here.
Oh, that's not a good start. Kustar not expecting the flank. I mean, it was a brazen run because there was a smoke down in CT. So he was exposed to half the places the CTs could come from at a numbers disadvantage. But there we go. Coldzera will be the one to defuse the bomb. 3 players surviving for SK as they move to match point.
He didn't really have an option to plant anywhere else because Triple Box was exposed to connector. So it was really just up to his teammates to help the planter live there. And it was a tough task, I guess.
So CLG creeping back slowly but surely, but SK starting to stop that run, and we get the last timeout used by CLG. So far they've been pretty good with using the timeouts. Obviously, sort of pacing it in a way where they get to the last one towards the end of this game. And is there any sort of optimal, ideal approach you think that CLG can operate with such low utility?
It is very tough. This is where you'll just see teams going to like the 3A smokes late because that's like, it's a fair chance. One guy in the site. They know they're going to have to worry about fallen, spawn, or triple. And it looks like we're seeing more of a scrimmy approach here. They're just trying to catch SK off guard. So this is definitely an option here if you know how the team plays. They're lucky Fallen doesn't seem ready for this.
I feel like the B play might be their go-to in this kind of round, but because they've run it already.
The problem is if you go right into B, SK has a utility, and if you go late, there's a chance SK has cleared something. So playing against a team like SK on this map is always tricky because you have to assume they're going to get info mid-round if you take too long.
I like that idea. Good. That's a really good point. And CLG, they're going to be making their way in now, but the spray comes in from Taco and Cold, but Ethan and Kusta strike back. They got a 3v3 for themselves as the plant is open. And Ricky catching Cold, jumping up on the railings. That's not a good look for SK. CLG with advantage now, but Phelps looms from CT. And that bomb is freshly planted, so there's time here.
Yeah, you wonder if Phelps can draw someone out for Fallen, but he's seen some trajectory, but he will not expect a second player there. Kusta, oh, he's missed a shot. Fallen, does he realize? He's even going to smoke it off. He's not expecting the push. Oh, that's unbelievable. What a turn of events. What does he do now? He's got no cover to defuse the bomb. The Molotov flies in. How does he escape? Not that way.
Oh.
Well, there we go. That
Nice.
was a bizarre sequence of events.
I wonder if the communication was wrong or was a little off there by SK, because Cold Zero normally doesn't get caught off by a mid play there. So they could have said all A, and then he just rotated off catwalk. But I feel like he's the type of guy, if he doesn't know where someone is, he's kind of disconcerted with his team's rotation, and he worries really about himself. And it sounds very selfish that way, but that's part of what makes him so dangerous, is that he's so good at kind of bringing himself back into his POV and what could be happening to him around the map, and being super aware of those subtleties. So wouldn't be surprised if there's a miscomm there with the numbers that were out A for CLG there. So either way,
miscommunications is like a really interesting one, because sometimes, like, you know, when as you're a commentator, right, you can't see that. That's a part of the game you cannot see, and so I think sometimes players get really frustrated because like analysts might make calls about plays and so on, where it's like, yeah, it looks really dumb, and it may or may not have been because of miscommunication, and that happens all the time. And
well, I noticed you guys do a good job of saying that sometimes, and that's why I've liked your guys' commentary, because you know, even the other analysts that are my friends, sometimes you could tell they state an opinion, and it doesn't bother me that much because I know what they're trying to say, but they say something and I'm like, ugh, that's gonna grind some people wrong, because you just assumed you assumed his gender, you know, you assumed why he was gonna, you assumed why he was doing something, and you know, depending on the situation, it could definitely like tick off a player, right? Because they've been trying so hard to do their role great, and they didn't get a lot of kills, and then they're getting maybe made fun of for something that wasn't their fault. And I've been in that situation before where I'm like, dude, I looked like an idiot on Reddit, and I'm like, you have no idea why I made that play. I was literally told to do exactly what I did, and then the whole world came down on me. I was like, what the? So it sucks when that happens. So it's good to have that kind of feedback. That was a really dumb play by that player, but could have been to miscommunication. That kind of but after the end is, I can tell as a player, it's nice to hear from you guys.
Oh, some relief there at the end, yeah.
Analysts don't think I'm stupid.
Well, this is going a bit wrong for CLG, not like this, but somewhat of a recovery as the A site's played, but the bomb is going towards B. And is there space here? Obviously, there's one player still there. It is Taco. He's got a deagle. This is a prime position to do a lot of damage. And with 30 seconds, CLG might start to feel pressured to just go for the plant without fully checking the site. And now, of course, SK are swarming all over the place. Taco misses.
That looked like it went through his chest.
That is pretty huge, although Cole will get the headshot onto Kusta. Now just Cutler left scanning for opponents. Nice tap down onto Taco, but the trade is in. And SK will take Mirage.
That was interesting. It looked like Taco was shooting blanks there, and I promise you, ladies, that's just a metaphor. But I was surprised. Didn't that look like it was right on him?
Yeah, I think he was strafing at the same time, though, which might be why didn't hit the shot, but it did look